Hey guys, it's Kyla at the MJC, and I am back with the affidavit for finding of contempt. So we'll fill out that form in just a minute, but before I do, just a quick reminder that nothing in this video is intended to be legal advice. It's a video, so I'm not able to analyze your specific situation or to evaluate whether a contempt is right for your circumstances, to evaluate what sort of remedies a court might find if they come up with a finding of contempt. I can't discuss what evidence you might need in your situation or anything like that. So if you have those sort of questions, I definitely recommend some legal advice. You can get brief legal advice for free here in Milwaukee County through the Marquette Volunteer Legal Clinics. If you're not located in Milwaukee County, you can get in touch with your clerk of court to find out what resources are available in your area. All right, so we're going to start filling out this form here. You will put in this very top blank, you're going to put the county where your case is located, and then you'll fill in the caption just like you did on the order to show cause for contempt. So again, the order of the names and all that sort of stuff. So if you have questions about the caption, I'll refer you back to that video so that for the folks who are watching these in order, they don't have to hear me give you all of that background again. And so I'm just going to fill in the addresses. You'll want to make sure that this matches what you have on the other caption, so it should be the same. This one is a little different because I know previously I was showing what to do if you didn't know the other person's address, but we're now going to fill it out as if Jane knows both people's address, because there's nothing I like better than a fully completed form. But just make sure that yours should match. So if you know the address, you should write it on both. If you don't know the address, then obviously you won't write it on either. John Smith, and he is 4321. And just going to space my way over here. And you'll put in the case number. And again, it might have a PJ at the end, it might not. And you'll indicate whether the state is a party. So all of that should be the same as what you did in this other document here, this order to show cause form. Again, I deviated a little bit. I could go in and fix this in the other one, but I just want to show you what it would look like fully filled in. So then here you're going to indicate what the other person was court ordered to do that they have not done. So in our situation, well, we don't know about I guess I'll do our situation in a minute, but I'll read you the categories. Here, if they were supposed to pay child support, you'll put in the amount of child support they're supposed to be paying. So you would check this box. Let's say John is supposed to pay $250 per month, and he has not been doing so. Fill it in like that. And you can check as many of these as apply. So if they were supposed to be paying spousal support, you put in the amount that it's supposed to be, again, per period, per pay period, per month. If there was family support, you'd fill it in here. Family support you don't see very much anymore, but in older orders you might have family support. If they were supposed to pay uninsured medical bills, in the amount of, and you do need to put the amount of the cost that you're saying they're not paying. And if possible, you'll want to attach copies of the unpaid bills. If you have a divorce case and they were supposed to return property to you, they were supposed to send over grade anhydrous salt shaker and haven't done that yet, you could check this one. If they were supposed to complete some form of documentation in a divorce, a quitclaim, a quadro, some sort of transfer of vehicles or real estate, that'd be this one. If they were supposed to pay a debt, so if in your marital settlement agreement they were supposed to pay the credit card bill, but they haven't been, and the credit card company's been coming after you, that would be this one. If they were supposed to make an equalization payment in your divorce, that would go here. So what they were supposed to pay if they haven't paid by the deadline, you'd put that in here. Here, is the one you're going to check if you were supposed to be allowed to claim the children as tax deductions, but you weren't able to. So if my ex quickly, they sneaked in and they filed their taxes before I had a chance to file mine, I could check here. Here, if they were supposed to provide you with medical insurance cards or other medical records for your kids but didn't, this one. If they were supposed to pay transportation expenses related to placement, so if our order says that my ex is supposed to reimburse me for like airfare for the kids to fly out to where they live or something like that, here, and I'll write in the amount. Here, if they're not following your custody or placement order, that box. And if it is something that doesn't fit into any of those categories, you will check other and write in, again, what they were supposed to do that they haven't done. So you'll check as many as apply. Down here, you're going to put the date of the court order that you're asking to be enforced. So in our situation where I checked child support and maintenance, this is where the order that says John, because I believe I said John is our person filling this out, that says John is supposed to receive child support and maintenance from Jane. And so we'll say that their order, again, you would go back into the court record and you would find that date. If you have a copy of the last order, that date would be on it. If you don't, if your case is available on public CCAP, you could use the case search feature to find the date of that hearing. Or if you your case isn't on the public CCAP, you don't have a copy of the order, you could go to civil records in your county to get that filled in, because they can provide you with the date of that last order. But we'll say theirs was March of 2019. And then here in this little fact section, and you can see it's pretty short. In the Word version of the forms, you can create more lines and just sort of type, but some of you may end up needing to do a see attached. But basically, you want to explain why you think the other person is in contempt. So why you think that they are intentionally not following a court order. So something we see a lot is people will say, you know, they aren't following the order. And that's great. You know, it's obviously if you're filling this form out, that hopefully is true. But that doesn't really explain why you believe that they are not following the order, right? That's just you saying, I don't think they're following the order, which we can tell from here. Or people will say they aren't paying child support. Again, that's just you reciting what you already said up here. Up here, you're already saying you don't think they're paying child support. So here it's, you know, how do you know they're not following the order and that they're doing it intentionally? So in our situation, where someone's not paying child support, we might say, I have not received any child support payments. I checked with the child support agency and they said no payments have been made. And, you know, could say that I called Jane and she said, I'll never pay you, blah, ha, ha, ha. So again, how do you know that they're not paying? You know, it could be, I checked the account, they told me they aren't. Child support told me they haven't received any payments. Or similarly, if you're in one of the other ones, how do you know they haven't filled out the documentation? How do you know they haven't paid the debts? And, you know, with that one, it could be the credit card company and called me and said, no one has been paying this debt or whatever. So how do you know they're not following the order? And then the other thing you'll put is how you know that, what makes you think it's intentional. So how do you know they could follow the order? So for example, in this situation, let's say Jane isn't following the order because, you know, God forbid she was in an accident and she's in a coma. She might not be paying the child support, but that could be a situation where the court would say, well, it's not intentional. She's unconscious. If she were conscious, maybe she'd be paying. So this is how you know that they could pay. So, you know, I know she has a job, you know, and I saw in the paper that she won the lotto. I mean, yours doesn't have to be that dramatic, but basically, how do you know that they're intentionally not following the order? How do you know they could follow the order if they wanted to? So you'll fill in that, and again, you'll just make it line up with what's happening in your situation. Then down here, you're just going to fill your name and stuff in the signature block, and this is being done by John. Make sure that you will want to not sign this until you are in front of a notary. You can find notaries at room 104 of the Milwaukee County Courthouse. You can also find them at most banks. If you're a customer, you can usually do it for free there. Some post offices, a lot of package stores like UPS stores or mailboxes, etc. You can also Google through the Department of Financial Institutions. I think they have a little search you can use to find notaries. So you'll just have to get it notarized. All right, so that is all for this video series. I hope that you guys found it helpful. If you have additional questions or if you think you need legal advice during non-pandemic times, you can come in and see us in room G9 of the Milwaukee County Courthouse. Otherwise, that's all I've got for you for now. I hope that you all go out and represent yourselves well.